Well, let's get started. I'm Bernard Smalls. I want to thank you so much for joining us for Destiny Entrepreneurs. And Destiny Entrepreneurs is designed to help you develop entrepreneurially. Many of you have the desire to be in business, a call to be in business, the intention and the purpose. But do you know that most people that fail because they just don't know what they're doing, or you could call it a lack of insight, a lack of wisdom. In fact, most businesses fail within the first 2 years, no matter how much money they started out with. So, what I've learned in life, and I've had my ups and downs, as Gladys Knight says, and my challenges and my failures, is learn from your failure. Henry Ford said, failure is only the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. So when you are failing, when you are struggling, it's time to look at what you're doing and look at how you're doing it and why it's not working or why it is working. It's a real practical application of yourself to learning. All right, so we're talking about how to reach your goals, how to reach your life goals, and that will be the topic for tonight. We're going to talk about how to set goals and how to reach goals. And by the way, we'll keep these sessions short and simple and to the point. So enjoy the participation. And what I do normally is I talk and then we allow a time for Q&A, a time for questions and answers. And then we wrap up with some ideas for action. All right. So we're talking about how to reach your life goals, how to reach your life goals. By the way, this is a book by Peter Daniels, Peter J. Daniels, the Australian entrepreneur. He wrote a book, How to Reach Your Life Goals, and it's a very powerful, yet a very practical book. And I want to share that with you free of charge. Just simply give me your email address at the end of the presentation. And the way you do it is by just sending me an email requesting your copy. All right, so we're talking about how to reach your life goals. Red line on the audio. There we go. It's green again. Peter Daniels said, the average person makes the same goals 10 times without success. So we're talking about goals. The average person makes the same goals 10 times without success. That means they set the same goals over and over and over without succeeding. Now, why is that? We're talking about goals. Welcome tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about how to reach your goals as an entrepreneur and as a person in general, because goals are for life. And most people fail because they fail to set clear goals. And why do so many people fail? Well, number one is they set too many goals. Number two, their goals are vague. And number three, their goals are not in writing. Now, what happens if you set too many goals? Let's talk about each of these. And again, I'll talk for a little bit and then we'll have a little interaction. And you're welcome to talk. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to share. But if you want to, you can participate by sharing. What happens when you have too many goals? I heard a guy say years ago, hello, Jay Winter. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I heard a guy say years ago that if you chase two rabbits, you won't catch either of them. Now think about that. If you're chasing two rabbits, you're not going to catch the one on the right, nor are you going to catch the one on the left. So are you chasing too many goals? What is your goal? What is your goal in business? You know, a lot of people, I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, and they don't even know what business they're in. And when you ask, what business are you in? And they said, I don't know. Well, you're about to waste some money. It's good to know what business you are in. Don't set too many goals. The next thing is goals are vague. The reason why so many people fail is goals are vague. They are not specific. They are not clear. What happens when you're not clear? What happens when your goals are not specific? Number three, goals aren't in writing. Now, I'm huge on putting goals in writing, and there's a couple of reasons for this. When you write something down, you crystallize your thought. Why? In order to write something, I have this Apple Pencil here and I like it. It works well with my iPad. And I've written things on the iPad here. When I write it down, like invite others, remember to record, the destiny of the third millennium, all that is just solidifying it. It crystallizes the thought. Writing, there's something about writing. In fact, they're doing a lot of research today because so many people are using devices versus pens. And they're finding that you're more effective at remembering something when you write it. Now, we are Christian entrepreneurs, so we believe the Bible. I want to read something, and I'm not going to get preachy, but in Habakkuk 2:2. Thank you again for joining us. Habakkuk said, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. Goes on to say, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. What I want you to see is even God said, write the vision. So the question is, do you have your goals written? Now, I'm going to get you the goals book at the end of the workshop, and we're going to keep these short and simple, and we're going to make some millionaires, okay? We're going to raise up some millionaires. How many of you want to be a millionaire? It's like the show years ago, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Well, who doesn't want to be a millionaire? Well, most people do if they're in their right mind. They want to be successful, they want to be prosperous, they want to have money, but have you set a clear, succinct goal in having money? Like, for instance, one of the things we have found is the more accurate you are on how much money is wealth, how much money is abundance, how much money you want, you really don't achieve it because you cannot hit a target unless you have one. So the goals program is designed to get you to strategize. Maybe you'll say, I want to make 1.5 million a year. Well, that's a good number. Can you live on that? Some of you say, I can't imagine 1.5 million a year. Well, you need to start imagining it because nothing will be restrained from you that you imagine to do. Okay, so now let's go quickly over the goals program. And then if you want to engage, we'll have a little interaction and talk about a couple of resources that'll help you. But this is all about helping you to basically, well, helping us to get our act together, how to reach your life goals. 7 steps. Number 1, define your goal. Define your goal. You must define your goal. And in fact, if you don't have a goal, make finding a goal your first goal. You got to have a goal. Well, you say, I didn't have one when I started listening to you. Well, you have one now. What is your goal? Finding a goal. And then when you find a goal, after number 1, number 2, you set out a strategy. You got to set out a strategy. Strategy is very important. In fact, strategy, I'm getting text messages from everywhere here. Strategy, good news, is what you're going to do. It's what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. So you find your goal, define your goal, set out a strategy. What is your strategy? What is your game plan? Number 3, build in reserves. This means you protect yourself by having more than enough. You reserve some money. You save some money. You reserve some equipment. You reserve goods. You reserve relationships with people. Because I'll tell you what, when you're out there as an entrepreneur and you're climbing that hill, Sometimes it's good to have support and friendship from people. Build in reserves. That's why I think the Christian faith is so good, because we are taught to love one another and help each other. And having a reserve of people around you, the right people, is very important. So people, resources, just uh, W. Clement Stone said, if you cannot save, the seed of greatness is not in you. Number 4, plan out problems. Plan out problems? I thought this was positive stuff. Yeah, you're going to have some problems. Now, here's why many people fail. In the world of psychology, there is what is called scenario planning. And scenario planning is a powerful, powerful concept, because you think of scenarios, you do this anyway. You think of scenarios of what could happen, what could go wrong, what might happen, and then you plan for it. It's called a contingency plan. So it's important to plan out problems. What kind of problems do you have? Sometimes the biggest problem we have is ourselves. Maybe we talk too much. Maybe we talk too little. Maybe we're not enough outgoing. Maybe we're overboard. Maybe we lack the knowledge, the skills of destiny, of entrepreneurship. So find out what the problems are. Number 5, relate to time frames. Relate everything to time frames. Folks, we are getting younger every day, right? Okay. We're gracefully aging. So what do? You relate to time frames. Where do you want to be when you're 60? Where do you want to be when you're 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, if you're thinking that big? But relate to time frames. There are 3 types of goals I like to share. First of all, they're short-term goals. Those are typically goals that are, well, within the first year, within a year. It could be a month to a year. And then they're medium range goals. And these goals are typically a year to 5 years. And then they're long-term goals. And long-term goals are any goal that is 10 years or more. Tony Robbins, the great motivator, said, most of us overestimate what we can do in a year, and we underestimate, as Tony says, what you can do in a decade. Think if you plan 10 years, that's a good chunk of time. That's a lot of time to make corrections, but related to time frames. So you got short term, long, medium term, and long term. Almost done here. Number 6 is create a master plan. That means you put everything in writing. Again, I like my iPad. I was using it the other day, and a guy saw the big white pencil, said, what is that? What are you doing? Because now I have all of my master plans, all of my ideas in one place. Remember, write the vision, create a master plan. And number 7, action today. Take action today. So what did we talk about tonight? We talked about your goals program, and I gave you 7 principles. And by the way, these principles are in the free ebook that I have for you. And there's no string attached. We're just going to give you the ebook if you send me an email requesting it. And it goes through the 7 principles. So let's recapitulate what we covered. Number 1, define your goal. Number 2, set out your strategy. Number 3, build in reserves, save, plan, prepare. Number 4, plan out problems. Number 5, relate to time frames. And number 6, create a master plan. And number 7, action today. All right. So we do a short lesson. I don't want to wear you out. We that have the gift of gab can talk and talk and talk. But hopefully that lesson was helpful. Now, here's what I want to do. If you want to participate, of course, you can go ahead and make sure your audio is on. Who's listening tonight? Who's here?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Let me turn my mic up. Who's that now?
Mike from Starbucks.
Hey, Mike from Starbucks. Good to hear you, man. Thank you. All
I
right.
hear you.
Who else?
I hear you as well.
You hear me as well? Okay, good.
Correct.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right. Now let's talk about something quickly. most entrepreneurs fail because they don't know what they're doing. Just to say it in plain English, even the Bible says people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So when you don't have the right knowledge, that's one of the major things. The, the cost of college has just gone crazy. And the fact is now they're finding that college is not producing the results that many thought college would. In fact, many young people are dropping out of college, and I'm not advising that, but they're looking at their buddy starting a business in a garage like Bezos and becoming a billionaire. Recently, I read that Amazon is now $1 trillion company. And, you know, you guys starting it in a garage. You got Bill Gates, who dropped out of college. Most of the billionaires didn't graduate from college. What does that tell you? Nothing wrong with college. But college doesn't give you the entrepreneurial skills to win. They're starting to get better. But the average cost of a college education in the US today, as I speak to you, this is from a research done in May by the Education Data Initiative, is $27,146 per year or $108,584 over 4 years. So to round it up, you're paying $109,000 for 4 years of college on average. How long does it take to make that money back? Do you ever make that money back? The sad thing is, many people never make it back. And recently, in recent politics, by the way, we don't talk politics and religion, but one of our presidents didn't pay off his student loan until he was made president of the United States. Well, that tells you something, that there's something about the system. He had to become president to pay back his student loans. I'm not saying everyone has to do that, but it just shows you what's going on. We have put together a program, and I say we, through the World Center for Entrepreneurial Study called Destiny of the Third Millennium. And this program is put together largely by my mentor, Peter Daniels. Okay, I believe you can see that. Hopefully, get this out of the way. The Destiny program. So I want you to go to my website, which is centre4im.com, CENTRE, 4IM.com. Scroll down to the eagle. You'll see this eagle, the same eagle, and click on it and listen. Just enjoy a little bit of the Australian accent. Listen to Peter Daniels talk about destiny. One thing I like about Peter Daniels is he has a third grade education. And when he was 25, he was illiterate, he was broke, he was an ignorant bricklayer, as he said of himself. His life turned around, he started getting the knowledge. Now he's over 90 years old, but he's also a billionaire. Last research I did, he's worth about $7 billion. So how does someone go from being a broke person with a third grade education? Now he's made chancellor of universities. He's given doctorate degrees everywhere. He said, I have so many doctorates, you'd think God is sick. He has so many doctorates because colleges have given him doctorates because of his study in business. So this guy's the real deal. And all I want you to do is check him out. Now, if you want to engage in the program, enroll in the program. I have, and my son has, and a lot of people I know. And it costs a little bit of money, but it'll change your life. It's a powerful, it deals with, I shared with you some nuggets from his program tonight with the goals program. And he has all kinds of stuff on how to stay motivated all the time, how to be happy though rich, how to be a leader. And he deals with how to start a business, how to fund a business, capital, how to increase and expand your business, and how to leave a legacy, because he is a Christian man, and you will hear him talk about legacy a lot. He's a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, he's always saying. And the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. We're supposed to be wealthy and leave money for people. All right. So